How's it going, everyone? My name is Falling Hurts, and today we're going to be taking a look at a new game that was shown off at the PlayStation Showcase called Pacific Drive. It's a new game coming exclusively to the PlayStation consoles from a new studio called Ironwood Studios, and we'll be breaking down more of the need-to-knows as we get to them, but for right now, let's hop into everything we know about Pacific Drive. Now, first up, as I said, it is coming exclusively to the PlayStation consoles as well as PC. And that will be sometime in 2023, probably in the second half, seeing as how we're just now getting marketing for the game to begin with. But we got a pretty lengthy trailer, all things considered, for a reveal, and it was really interesting, and I'll break down everything that happens in just a moment, as well as a few high-quality screenshots that we also got. But for now, let's hop over to the PlayStation blog post where they kind of detailed a little bit more in depth what we should expect from the game. And that's where the marketing and communication specialist from Ironwood Studios says this. Pacific Drive is a run-based, first-person driving survival game. As you explore the zone, your car is your lifeline. Scavenge resources to maintain and improve your car. As long as you keep it running, it will protect you from the surrounding dangers, which we see quite a few of within the trailer. And then it goes into a little bit more of lore detail, which I was really appreciative of, and that is, in 1955, the United States government seized a region of the Pacific Northwest by eminent domain. The Olympic Peninsula became the staging ground for promising new technologies, but these utopian creations came at a great cost. Severe radiation, environmental collapse, and supernatural horrors. The government walled off the entire area and established the Olympic exclusion zone. What happened inside was never disclosed. And of course, we're going to see exactly what happens firsthand. Rumors and stories about the zone run rampant, compelling you to go and explore its perimeter. Your plans go awry and you're now stuck inside. You don't know it yet, but the only way out is through. You find a barely running station wagon deep in the woods, miraculously unlocked and able to make the trip down the hill into the valley. Here you come across an abandoned auto shop, which we see in the trailer, and that becomes your base of operations, where you safely repair and improve your car between runs. Do your best to survive, solve mysteries, and search for a way out, or become part of the ongoing legends of the zone. As we see here throughout the trailer, there's plenty of different things to worry about when it comes to your car. For instance, the structure of the vehicle, which is, how strong it still is, how much damage has it taken, and it kind of has like a health bar, it seems, as well as the components to look after, like the wheels, the engine, the battery, and the headlights even. And then we'll also have like miles per hour, as well as a gas gauge to look at. So pretty normal fucking American things. So yeah, I'm sorry, anyone who's not in America, I needed to bring it back, I'm sorry. Structured as a roguelite, which is a really funny play on words of roguelite, each trip from your garage into the zone is full of strange anomalies and technologies, and plenty of radiation, of course. If you keep your car in good shape, you'll be safe to explore, scavenge for resources, and drive further into distinct biomes that offer more valuable rewards. The land shifts with each passing storm, making each journey a unique experience. Discovering new resources will allow you to outfit your vehicle with defenses, trick out your garage, and find more dangerous routes that can bring you deeper and deeper into the zone, which of course is our end goal to escape. And then while they do talk about a little bit more of how they're excited to make this game for us and all these fun things like that, they kind of tease surreal settings with layered systems that allow the player to have their own unexpected and unique experiences, which is always really nice, and fits really well into the roguelite settings that they're going for. But then the blog ends with this. As you settle into what remains of the zone, you'll discover that it's not quite as abandoned as you think. This place is full of old tales and legends, some long gone while others still linger. Remember to keep your eyes on the road. The woods are deep, but not entirely empty. And we see kind of some of this in the trailer with some enemies. There's something burrowing under the ground, which is a big creature. But then there's like kind of zombie or mutated people kind of in the trailer, so that's really cool to see as well. And this game could be pretty creepy if you think about it, especially if you play it in the right setting, headphones on, lights out. But with that being said, I would like to transition over to the game's actual website itself, where we get a little bit more information. And it's here that we don't get too much new because the blog post covered a lot of things already, but there are a few bits of information. For instance, the tagline that with your car as your lifeline, you'll unravel a long forgotten mystery as you make your way to the heart of the Olympic exclusion zone, which is all but more confirmation that there will be some bigger narrative to go along with the game. But then finally we have the high definition screenshots of the game, which actually show quite a bit. For instance, I already kind of covered some of the in-game HUD that happens within the car's cab, which is really cool, by the way, as well as just a nice screenshot of our auto shop that we see. It's called Big Dan's. And then also presumably within Big Dan's is a route schedule or plan of action to get further into the zone, as we can see here. And then finally, as we go into the last one here, we see that the player has kind of a blowtorch or something, presumably to repair or modify the vehicle in some way. And it all looks really nice in motion. One thing I will say that the game did look pretty choppy when it came to the PlayStation 5 reveal. But hopefully things will change between next year and higher powered PCs won't have these negative results. Now that's really all we know about the game for now. The TLDR is that in 2023 on PS5 or PC, you'll be able to play a pretty unique looking driving game in first person that could be pretty creepy or at least super interesting. But if you know me, which you probably don't, I like to go a little bit deeper with some of these games, and this is a good instance of this. I'm going to, for the rest of the video, I'd like to kind of break down the Ironwood Studios team and just how many people are working on the game and how long that's been going on. So if you're done with the video, see ya, maybe consider subscribing. But if not, strap in because we've got just a few more minutes to talk about this. So Ironwood Studios is a Seattle-based game development team made up of experienced developers from a long history in the industry. And they continue to say that driven forward by surreal settings and compelling gameplay that actually tells a story, we've been putting those values towards our first title. If you're wondering when the studio became a thing, that's about 2019, as now 3 years later, they're finally putting out their first game, Pacific Drive. At least ramping up and starting to, show off the game in just a little bit. And as we go on over to the Who Are We, they talk about how a lot of their people work from different backgrounds, beliefs, experiences, and are based mostly in Seattle, but some work remote, of course. And continuing on, something that I really like to see is they put a lot of emphasis in things like worker health and team, morale, things like that, which is really great. They also talk about how they've invested heavily into tools and systems that let them build big games much faster, which is going to be really interesting to see how quick the turnaround is for their next game or however long this takes from announcement to release. But at the end we get a splash of a lot of the different games that the team, individually has worked on throughout the years. We've got Don't Starve, Hello Neighbor, Cozy Grove, Not Tonight 2, Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves, PlanetSide 2, Halo Infinite, Halo 5, Reach, and 4 as well, so better games, kind of, maybe. Tron Legacy is that a movie? Is that a game? Well, hell, I don't know. They've worked at Oculus, Infamous, Second Son, and First Light expansion, BioShock Infinite, so I'm sorry you had to work under good old Kenny boy, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. But regardless, it's pretty interesting to see people from all over different industries even come together for a project like this as well. That being said, that takes us into our final part, and that's Meet the Team. We get to see how many people are actually working on the game as a core part of the developer. By my count, there is a 19 core development team working on the game. I'm sure there may be situations where people are hired in or brought on for part-time work to finish the game potentially, or maybe this is a much smaller operation than I know and I don't really know much about the game. But with that being said, currently there are no job listings for the developers, so all fine and dandy here in the land of Ironwood. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the Pacific Northwest. This has been a pretty fucking cool looking game, and I'm really excited to see more, and, I hope this video was able to shed some light. If you didn't find the blog post or the game's website, then hey, hopefully this helped a little bit. Otherwise, consider subscribing. If not, play the game when it comes out.